Hello, everybody. Revolver Guy prepping for poor people. I just want to do a short little video today and talk about, excuse me, compost piles. I've been out doing some mowing, and I always collect my grass clippings and I use them in a compost pile. I just want to go over a quick little thing about that. Uh, Compost is easy to make, and it's a great thing to have to either amend soil or use to fill a garden bed or flower pots or something like that. It is, and it's really easy to do. I just want to kind of go over what I do with it. I was out there dumping my clippings on my pile today, and I got to thinking about it. So, anyway, what I do when I make a compost pile, like I said, I have a bagger on my mower, and I save my grass clippings. I also go down to the local sawmill and get sawdust. And I mix this sawdust and these grass clippings. I put it in layers. I'll put about a 2-inch layer of sawdust and about a 2-inch layer of grass clippings. And that's how I layer it. And I do that so that the grass doesn't mat up and get compacted, and then it takes a long, long time for it to break down like that. But the sawdust makes a great brown. It's a great carbon. And then when you put them fresh grass clippings, they have to be fresh, and you put them straight on there, all the nitrogen out of that grass will begin to break down that sawdust and the grass itself. And if you'll do this, I always try to make a pile about 3 foot by 3 foot by about 3 foot high. And once I get a pile that big, I'll start another pile. And once you let this sit all summer and winter, when you go back, you'll have just a big mound of black, rich dirt, basically is what it is. And it's just broken down particles. I mean, you can put eggshells in it. You can put all of your food waste from the kitchen, not meats or fats or anything, but eggshells, like I said, vegetables, coffee grounds, tea grounds, things like that. You can put all that in there too. And I go out every so often, especially after a good rain, and I'll turn it with a pitchfork. Once it gets cooking pretty good, and I mean, it'll be hot, and it's supposed to be hot. If it's real warm in the center, then you know it's doing what it's supposed to. The microbes are breaking it down. And like I say, I'll build these piles up. I usually get about 3 piles a year, basically what equates to a cubic yard. Now, when they break down, they get a lot smaller. So these 3 piles, all in one, will probably equate about 1 cubic yard. But that's a lot of dirt. I mean, that's a lot of stuff to use. I put it in my garden beds, and I put it in pots. If you want to grow tomatoes in containers, it's a great thing to use. You can get a little bit of topsoil and mix it in, about half and half of that compost. So those are just a few tips on that. It's a good thing to do. It's a good thing it's a good way to recycle, and it really helps the environment. It helps to cut down on how much fertilizer you have to use, because it's very rich. You won't need much fertilizer if you use that, I tell you. And I do this every year just as something to have some extra fertile soil around, and it really helps, especially when I go to grow my vegetables. I tell you, I usually have a really good garden. I'm hoping this year's looking so good so far, and I'll definitely be making some videos on that to show you how that's come out. I'm pretty dirty right now. I've been out, like I said, I've been out working in that, mowing that grass and getting that grass out of the bagger and everything. I've got to work this evening, so I'm getting ready to quit here in just a little bit. I actually came in to cool off. It's pretty warm out. But anyway, I just want to give you a few tips on that. It's always good to put your pile, either keep it covered with plastic, or like I do, I keep it under some trees where it stays shaded all the time. And it rains quite a bit, so it rains enough to keep it moist. If it doesn't, then I'll put some water on it too, because it needs to be shaded and moist. And once I get it built up, then that's when I go in and I start turning it. about once a week or so, and it really seems to do good. So if you've never done a compost pile, I'd encourage you to try it. It's really easy to do. You can use leaves, you can use sawdust like I do. Anything that's brown and will break down. Once you mix some fresh grass clippings in it, then it'll turn into a nice rich compost for you to use in your garden or flowers or wherever you want to use it. Anyway, I just wanted to do a short video on that. Thank you for watching. If you don't care, like and subscribe. I'll be doing some more videos here shortly on my garden and some other things that I've got going on. And remember, all gun laws are unconstitutional.